Morning, Steve Free in Chicago with the morning grain comments. Well, today is a big numbers day, both for the financial markets and for the grain markets. Overnight grain prices are a little bit lower, and we expect not much trade into the USDA report today. 11 o'clock Central Time. We'll be a lot smarter than we are now. My focus first will be on what they do with the U.S. Corn and soybean and wheat carryouts. And there's been a lot of talk about possibly lowering soybean and wheat export demand, keeping corn demand unchanged. Then I'll look at the final 2021 corn and soybean crop numbers and the impact that might have on D1 stocks. And then we look at the winter wheat acres, and then finally look at some of their world data to see if they raise or lower world ending stocks. Sometimes this January report is a baseline for the next 30 days trading. I think that the main thing that the market is worried about is if the algorithm machines, if the managed money are not giving anything bullish today, they may liquidate out of some of their long positions, which I don't think is unhealthy because I think 2022 is all going to be about weather. And I think that next week, the fact that Argentina is going to see some rains, that Brazil weather pattern might change to a more normal pattern, except for maybe some dryness in parts of Rio Grande do Sul. The only one that's going to miss out on a change in the pattern is Paraguay. They continue to be warm and dry. It's going to be hard to assess the damages to the Argentina crop, considering that they have record high temperatures and no rain before next week's rain event. But some of the late planted crops will benefit, especially in Argentina, from this rain event. We also will be looking ahead for U.S. weather patterns. And again, negative PDO, a La Nina, and some cycles suggest that we could actually see a drier than normal March and April rainfall across the plains and maybe parts of the Midwest. If it's dry, that'll set up the possibility of a drier than normal summer. If, though, it's raining in March and April, that kind of throws out any major concern about a dry pattern in the U.S. So I think that sometimes we rally here in the U.S. into the 4th of July weekend. After that, there's a tendency for the markets to trade lower no matter what the weather is. And so it might be the same thing as far as going into South American weather this weekend. We could put a top in the marketplace just because it may not be more damage after this weekend and after next week's rains. As far as anything else, I think that markets will be watching the outside influence of today's CPI data. 7% inflation might already be in the marketplace, but treasuries have rallied from 1.53 to 1.8. Yesterday they backed off to 1.75 after the Fed chairman's comments during his confirmation hearing. So all in all, I hope everybody has a safe and profitable trading day. Look for some volatility, and remember, always treat people like you yourself would like to be treated.